Oh, something just happened today that the Democrats can't spend their way out of. You got a major celebrity, a black mother from Memphis, and everyday Americans all saying the same thing about Democrats.
Part of the Republican Party.
That's right. Former Democrat, former liberal.
Yeah.
I was a liberal Democrat my whole life.
Is that because the bag has got so intense and so heavy that you had a whole nother, you up there with the elite now?
Not even close. Not even close. Democrats don't care about black people.
Okay,
and they don't care about people. They don't care about people of color. And the Republicans do, and that's the misconception.
And you know what? I agree with you 100%.
Thank you,
People
man.
don't know that the Democrats is the party of the KKK.
Yep.
People don't know that the Republicans are the party that freed the slaves.
Yep.
I mean, both of you and I have some conservative views. You just a little bit more outspoken about it than I am. And I don't subscribe to either party. I rock with W.E.B. Du Bois when he said there's no such thing as two parties. It's just one evil party with two different names. So
yeah, I mean, look, I listen. I'm not married to any party.
right.
I voted for Donald Trump because we had two options, and he was definitely by far the better option for us. And as of now, I agree with a lot of things that he's doing.
Cleaning house.
Yeah.
He
But
doing what he said he was going to do.
guess what? If there's a time where I don't agree, I'll say I don't agree.
Yeah. We got the Gulf of America now.
Period.
He's charging, he's like the club. He's charging a $5 million bottle service fee to get into the country.
I know. Listen. But guess what?
They, no, this right here is gonna make a lot of people, feel a little, because when somebody like Nick Cannon says it, it's gonna hit a little different, just a little bit. Not because it's new information, but because it's being said out loud now by him, And notice something, he didn't come in screaming. He wasn't like super emotional. He said it like somebody who stepped back and looked at everything. And, once you really do that and you start realizing some things, the whole thing people thought was left versus right might not be what they thought it was at all. But here's that it gets interesting, because it's one thing to talk politics, right? And it's another to talk about real life.
Show it to you here. He is by far the sweetest man I have ever met. When I tell you that he gave me and my family the experience of a lifetime, he affirmed me for minutes. You're great. You're wonderful. You're the MVP. You're going to go places. You're going to do things. And he was just completely thankful for me being there and sharing my truth. And I felt so honored.
And
so honored.
Delicia, I just want to get this in quickly. We only have a few moments, but you've incurred backlash for being so public?
Yes, I have. I've been receiving all sorts of threats and things of that nature, strange phone calls. The U.S. Marshals actually have been, having to protect my home and patrol my home, because of it. But I'm not backing down. I am standing firm and standing, firm in my beliefs that this is what the president has done. And we are very, very grateful for it to this day, to this very moment. We still have not heard any gunshots. And I promise you, I will die on that hill making that testament. We're truly honored and truly, truly grateful. But yes, the backlash has been very, very thick. And a lot of it is coming from the left, the people that they consider to be this loving party. I have been receiving the nastiest racist comments. But like I said, I'm hanging in there. A lot of people have been asking how they could help. I do currently have a GoFundMe on my TikTok page, which you guys can visit at Delicia Ballinger. We definitely would love your support. But yes, we're dealing with that, but we're standing firm.
God bless you, Delicia. God bless
I know that's
everyone
right.
who's at trumpet camp. Thank you so much for your courage.
God bless America. Now, this right here, this is what they don't know how to deal with. And by they, you know what I mean. Who I mean, rather. Because you can debate, history all day, but you cannot, how do I say, you can even argue policies, but you can't fake somebody's lived experience. Say, I preach this, basically. You heard what she said. Peace in the neighborhood. Kids are actually outside again. What? Not living in fear? It's not a headline, man. That's real life right there. And y'all, I bought myself, man. I'm over here looking. Y'all probably didn't see it, but I'm mad, man. I'm looking like Will Smith and Hitch. Anywho, but you know, like I said, that's real life, and it's the part. I think there's a part to it that throws people off, right? She's not supposed to be the one saying that, but when reality starts contradicting the narrative, people don't change the reality. They start attacking a person. And that's exactly why this next clip, it matters.
This Representative Jayabal Democrat is saying that if they win the mid-election, they need to give reparations to the children and families traumatized by ICE.
To be held account for the trauma that they have created, and we are going to have some form of reparation for the kids and the families that have been traumatized through all of this.
Not the Black Americans that have been traumatized for over the last 450, 500 years in this country, or the ones that have been holding down the Democratic Party. No. When I tell you as Black Americans, you better stop taking your eyes off the prize, because you continue to make Democrats and everyone else out here think that we good. Black Americans is good, y'all. We need to focus on a whole new group of people here that have not even bought into this, paid into the system like we have. This is so disrespectful. Number one, who's going to pay for them reparations? Because it damn sure wouldn't be Black Americans paying reparations, the people who came here hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years after us and ain't been a slave nowhere up in here. Nowhere. We're the ones that was picking cotton for free. We're the ones that built this country for 400 years for free. We are the women that were being legally raped in this country for centuries. No one else. How damn disrespectful of you to even talk about reparations for anyone other than us. This is what I'm saying about Black folks. We got to stop. We are letting people disrespect our ancestors. For this lady to even open up her mouth talking about reparations for anybody else in this damn country, she must be crazy. Where's Roland Martin? Where's Joyanne Reed? Where's Tamika Mallory? Where all y'all at? Y'all was so mad at Nicki Minaj, but you ain't got nothing to say about this woman saying immigrants deserves reparations before us? That's why I say it's fake outrage. Everyone should be mad as hell about this right here. I wish y'all would. You would never get another damn vote from me ever again. Have a good day.
So if you know me, you know how I feel about reparations. I don't think people have to pay me for something that I didn't personally go through. But listen closely, because this isn't just anger. This is frustration that's been, I guess, building for years on her part. And what she's saying is simple for her. Who gets prioritized and who gets postponed? That's the question nobody wants to answer directly. Now, from her, she was saying, you know, Black people, but I'll redirect that and say the American people. Because, how do I say, you know, when you start to ask questions like who gets prioritized or postponed, that's a question people don't want to answer directly, because the moment people start asking that, you can't hide behind slogans anymore. You actually have to explain it. You know, why certain conversations move fast and others somehow stay in the same place forever. And once people start noticing patterns like that, y'all know this is my favorite word, they don't unsee it. Which is, you know, why this next part is where, how do I say, things really start locking in for people.
Why do I hate the Democratic Party for Black Americans? Here's some history you didn't learn in school. Democrats literally fought in the Civil War to keep us enslaved. Once they lost the Civil War, they opposed the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, freeing all enslaved Black people, giving us equal rights and the right to vote. And once Reconstruction was issued by Republicans to integrate Black people into society, Democrats passed the Jim Crow laws. Yeah, you didn't know that came from Democrats, did you? Once Reconstruction was passed to give Black people political power, the Democratic Party founded the KKK, a terrorist organization created to terrorize and to intimidate Black people from voting. After this, Democrats opposed the 1957 Civil Rights Act, the 1960 Civil Rights Act, and the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Though that act is accredited to Lyndon B. Johnson, who was the sitting president at the time, the majority of the opposition, even to the 1964 Civil Rights Act, came from Democrats. And I know what I'm going to hear now, but the party switched. That is a myth. Who do you think taught you that? Maybe the same people who spent their life oppressing you for hundreds of years, who are trying to make you disregard and forget about that history. The parties never switched. That is often repeated and regurgitated, but is not supported by historical documentation. What more accurately happened is that certain voting blocks within both of those parties switched. The ideologies of both of those parties and what they were founded on never switched places. Not only is that inaccurate, it's irrational. Most of us have no idea about what really happened and what caused us to realign from being Republican to being Democrat. This is exactly why I wrote my book, How the Democrats Won the Blacks from Physical to Mental Slavery, to tell the true accounts of this history. If you want to learn the accurate history that they never taught us in school, the book is available now for pre-order on Amazon. The link is in my bio, or you can just comment the word book and I'll send the link right to your DMs. As always, God bless, protect, and keep you.
And I'll definitely have in the pinned comment. My bad. I'll definitely have in a pinned comment his X handle account for you guys to go check out. But this is where the conversation definitely shifts from emotion to interpretation, because history isn't just about what happened. It's about how it was explained to you. That's very important, and depending on who's telling the story, you might walk away with a completely different understanding. That's why debates like this never really die, because people aren't just arguing facts. They're arguing frameworks. And once somebody changes the way they see the framework, everything else starts looking different. It's just what it is, which brings us to this final piece, because after all the politics, after all the history, all the arguments, it comes down to something way simpler.
Good morning. So yesterday, the Department of War posted a video. It was fire. I loved it. It had me hyped. It made me proud to be a veteran. It made me want to roll back 20 years and go suit back up. It made me proud to be an American, right? I love my country. I don't care what nobody say. I love my country. But under the comments, right, I did a comment, and under my comment, people like, oh, you will go serve Secretary of War that took 4 black individuals off the promotion to general. Oh, you would go serve under the ideology of this president. Oh, you would... Listen, people, I don't give a damn about none of that. Look, I respect the office and the country. I don't care who's in the office. Listen, let me tell everybody something, and I'm going to tell you something clearly. Control what you can control. You will get further in life, and I had to learn that the hard way. Control what you can control. I can't control all of that. The same way everybody, and that's the problem with this world. We try to control everything, and we can't. You try to control what people believe. You try to control what people feel. You try to control this. You can only control this right here. You can only control you. That's it. That's it. Stop pushing your stuff on other people. Stop making people feel, because all that does is it causes anger. It causes violence. It causes all the bad things when people do this stuff. That's why we're in the problems that we're in. But don't sit here, because guess what? I believe in my country. And to be honest, let's think about something. Half the people that talk so much trash about this country, find another country. Tell me another country that you would rather go to that doesn't have bad in it, right? Because a lot of countries I see on the news, they kill their own people, they do this, they do that, they this, they that. So we all no matter where you go, there's all bad. This country, at the end of the day, has taken a lot from me. Trust me, things that you won't see and I won't post on here, right? Mentally and physically. But I can't, but that was in God's control. In God's control. That's not gonna stop me from loving what I did, what I do, and anything in the future from now. It's not. So at the end of the day, God bless America. God bless all the soldiers, everybody putting on that uniform and everything. And you know what? God bless this world because it needed.
And this right here, this is the part people would choose to overlook. Because after all the debates, after all the back and forth, you're still left with one question. What are you actually doing with your life? Not what they're doing, not what the system's doing, what you are doing. And whether you agree with everything everything in these clips or not, rather, I'm going to talk about them collectively versus just this one. You can't ignore the pattern. People starting to think for themselves instead of just repeating what they've been told. And I'm so grateful for that. And it's happening on a scale. This isn't about telling you what to think, how to think. It's just about showing you what happens when different voices from different places start arriving to similar conclusions. Because when that happens, it usually means something bigger is changing. So for the sake of my favorite word, I want y'all to write pattern. Yeah. You know it's coming. I've been saying that, I'm going to get a shirt just be like Democrat. No, Max. I'm going to get if we got any dope graphic artists, let me know in the comment section. I definitely want to get with you and try to figure out something. Y'all be safe. Go check on somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.